Welcome back, Cave Dwellers. This is Uncle Nasty. I started y'all out yesterday. I started y'all out right today, and now I'm going to end it on a good note. We got the angry artist, William Russell. Hey, Kevin Johnson, Top End Gaming over on Facebook. He's got some of his covers. You just did a custom one for him, right?
Yep. Cult of Dracula #1, which absolutely blew up. And before we get started, thank you guys so much for having me here. Thank you guys for doing the interview and everything. And thank you guys for doing it for the show. I mean, the fact you guys sit down and talk to up-and-coming artists and stuff like that and give them a few minutes to shine, dude, that's a huge deal. A lot of people forget that, and so the fact you guys do it, that's awesome.
Man, it's a huge deal to us. We're fans, first of all.
There you go.
We wouldn't be here if we didn't love what you guys do.
There you go.
So we got an important question, all right? Have you ever had bad breath so bad that you contemplated taking gum from up underneath the table and rechewing it?
No, I've never had it that bad, but I've had it bad enough where it could probably peel paint. One of those all-nighters or something like that, or where you've been out with your buddies all weekend long and you haven't even been home yet. Those like trips to Vegas or something like that, where you haven't seen light for 30 hours plus. So yeah, moments like that, but nothing that bad though.
That's right. Okay. You set up at this booth. I saw people coming by there and talking to you. What would you say is your absolute favorite thing about being able to interact with the people that like your work?
Oh, dude, just the people in general. I mean, I'm a big fan of art, period. I follow a lot of indie artists. I follow a lot of up-and-comers. I share their stuff on my pages and stuff like that. I talk about them to my followers, the Angernauts. So, I share their stuff all the time. So getting to come to a con and, visit with the other artists and seeing what they're working on, seeing what, barriers they're breaking down with their concepts and ideas, or thinking outside the box and doing new stuff. That, and then the look on the faces, man, the meeting the fans when they finally get to put a face with the art. And then, of course, seeing the people who are surprisingly shocked that I'm not angry all the time. That I'm probably one of the coolest laid back people, but again, I can have my moments. I have no filter between my brain and my mouth, and if somebody rubs me the wrong way, I rub them hard.
That's right.
So but I'm big on the old school respect. I was raised by my grandparents. I'm about treating each other the way you would want to be treated and not expecting someone to do for you just because.
I was raised by my great-grandparents.
There you go. It's a whole different ball game. That's why I can't teach school or nothing like that, because I'd strangle some kids today. But, but that right there, dude, just the interaction is awesome. I mean, if nobody's ever been to a con or even done a con, like actual vendor or something like that, or artist, they really, really should try it.
It is a lot of fun.
The camaraderie, the friendship with everybody that's here. Yeah, everybody has their moments where things can be rough and tempers can be this and that. Sometimes somebody having a bad day, but the absolute majority of the time, it's a wonderful experience every time.
What is your favorite? Now, when I see your art style, it's my kind of thing. Pretty much everything I see you do over there. What is your favorite character to draw right now at this moment?
Oh, it's without a doubt the Bat Who Laughs. The way DC has done that character with combining Bruce Wayne and the Joker Venom to create this new character that has no restraint. So it's full blown, Batman's training, his intellect, his IQ level and everything mixed with Joker's sinister. And they took the kid gloves off too. I mean, they didn't try to sugarcoat him and make him so-so, but he's bad. I mean, they full-blown swung for the fences, and that character is just incredibly fun to draw.
Oh, yeah.
So, and he's probably my most requested commission, him and Venom. So those two are definitely my two favorites, but Bat Who Laughs for sure.
All right. Is there any type of special music that you got to play to get yourself in the right creative mindset to do those phenomenal pieces?
Well, I definitely listen to a lot of music when I do art. I would rather listen to music than actually be live a lot of times because, they cut all that out when you try to listen to music. But I don't know, some Donnie Marie, that kind of thing. No, I'm just kidding. I'm usually listening to stuff like old school Metallica, or I'm listening to old school 80 hair bands, things like that. My music interest actually bounces off everything. I'll listen to old school Dre. I'll listen to some of the earlier Eminem and things like that. I'll listen to some old school Snoop Dogg, things like that, depending on my mood. And then I'll bounce back over. Next thing I'm listening to is Pantera.
That's right.
So mine is all over the place. If it's good music and it's got good vibe and good energy, I'm usually listening to some form of it. So
That's right. That's right. So, is there anybody that is drawing and doing art right now that is an inspiration to you? I know a lot of people have like Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, but is there anybody that's active?
Mine falls a little different. I mean, beautiful, immaculate work from them, but I'm old school. I'm real big on the respect. I'm real big on how people treat their fans at a show. And for me, the top of the line, and 9 times, I mean, actually really and truly 10 times out of 10 with every experience I've had, Jim Lee. The way, especially his art ability, the drive, his mentality of how he approaches art is a huge influence for me. His style is a huge influence. I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, so I saw, Image and all these guys coming up and then creating Image. David Finch is another one that's a huge influence to me, again, especially how he treats the fans at a con. I've met him twice, and the dude will sit there and talk till the cows come home.
One of my favorite comics has to do with Jim Lee, believe it or not, is a Savage Dragon comic.
Oh, I remember the cover he did.
Yeah,
yep.
It was like
him and all those guys swapped. They took turns doing each other's covers that month.
Man,
absolutely beautiful.
Have you ever drawn a Savage Dragon?
Yeah, I've done him once. I think I've done him once, and that's it.
He's like one of my low key favorites.
Oh yeah, he's a cool character. He's one I think there's a lot of the Image stuff that kind of got put on the back burners. I think would actually come out right now and do really well. And I think Savage Dragon is definitely one. Savage Dragon and Wetworks, dude, that book was really good.
Right.
I would love to see those make a comeback and do something. And what's the thing that did Battle Chasers and stuff?
Right.
I would love to see him come back and do more of that because that book was stupid hot in the 90s. But yeah, as far as like influences, it's definitely Jim Lee. Jim Lee's actually the one that got me doing this again. I was actually talking to him on Twitch a long time ago on one of his live feeds, and I used to work with an insurance company. I've been with them 7.5 years. And loved my job, made incredibly good money doing it. And I was watching one of his live feeds one night, and I like a lot of artists, I make that same stupid mistake where I want to use I don't have time as an excuse.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest cop-out there is. Unless you're working 2 full-time 8-hour-a-day jobs, now that I understand. But if you're working one job, even if you got family and kids and all that at home, you still got time to come home and do what you're passionate about.
Right.
And Jim Lee told me that because I made that mistake. I said, well, I don't really have time. I do this and this. He's like, no, that's not an excuse. He was like, we all have the same 24 hours, and if you break it down and you look at it from hourly, what you do, he was like, on average, even an extremely busy person with kids at home, dinner to do, homework to do, you usually average anywhere between an hour to 2 hours a night that you can work on your passion. Once he said that to me, I couldn't make excuses anymore. From the very next day I woke up, I started working my full-time job I was already on, doing art 2 to 4 hours a night, 7 days a week. I did that for 1.5 years straight, and then I put myself out there and started selling commissions.
Do you ever wonder how many other people got that grab in the back and picked up onto their feet by him?
Oh, I imagine tons. I mean, I like I said, Jim Lee's, and I've got that same mentality. When I hear people say that in my videos, oh, I wish I had time to draw. You do. Stop playing PS4 for 5 hours a night and you can draw.
That's right.
Stop flipping channels on, DirecTV for 5 hours a night and you can draw. So there's no doubt about it, because I've seen people make those same comments to Jim Lee in his Twitch channels. And it's almost, and I guess it's because of all the effort and work he's put into he almost takes it offensive. He will straight up tell you, he's like, that's not an excuse and you need to stop using it. He was like, because we all have time to do what we're passionate about. You just got to figure out what's more important. The stuff that you're just sitting around flipping channels on, or your passion. It's just saying I don't have time, and again, I can say this because I used it for decades, it's just a cop-out way for us to be able to give ourselves the okay to not try to do it. Right. Because of the fear of failure. I mean, putting yourself out there as an artist in anything really is absolutely terrifying. The hours we work are long, they're lonely. I mean, it's not for the weak. There's no doubt about it. And that's no matter anything you're passionate about, whether it's music or art or whatever. If you want to see massive increases in your ability, you have to put in that time every day to do it. Otherwise, you won't ever see the growth.
All right. Well, that I don't even have to ask him if he has a message for people that are inspiring, because he literally just gave it to you.
Yeah, that's definitely the message.
I mean, he literally just gave it to you, and I mean, it's good to hear him say that, because I mean, you're encouraging people.
Yeah, it's a wonderful experience.
You're not pulling no punches.
Yeah.
But you're still encouraging people.
Yeah, it's just I made those excuses for years, and I can't do it. I can't even let it, tingle in the back of my brain anymore. I can't allow other people to even cause me to start thinking that way anymore. So like on my live videos and stuff, when I hear somebody make that comment, I kind of go off a little bit. I was like, I don't want to hear the excuse, because unless you're working 2 full-time jobs every day, you got time.
That's right.
You just need to figure out how to arrange your life where you can fix it. And I mean, like I said, when Jim Lee put it to me like that, I couldn't make that excuse anymore. And that was it. And that was the only excuse I was making.
That's right.
So I was like, I don't got time, man. I wish I could, and it was such BS. And
All
I know it was.
Is there, I want to jump out on a limb and just go ahead and assume that if you could be a part of a project that's ongoing right now, you would jump right into Batman Who Laughs.
Oh, God, yeah, dude. I'd be all over some metal. I would be all over some metal. That is definitely my grail. Which, don't get me wrong, I would love to work on Venom, too.
Right.
Venom is definitely one of those characters that's just incredibly fun to do. I will have one of those covers eventually. I'll have a Bat Who Laughs cover somewhere. I'll have a Venom somewhere. There's just no doubt about it.
Y'all hear that?
Yeah,
Put
it's
the word
definitely
out.
going to be there, because I'm supposed to be doing some more covers. I signed the non-disclosure agreement on one of them, and that one they've already sent my art to the company. They've already got the approval for my art. They've already got the approval for the 3,000 print run, and now we're just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen with it. So if that goes through, that'll be a game changer too.
When could we be expecting to see that?
I do not know, because we've already been waiting now for about a month and a half since the approvals for because you have to get the artists approved and everything. So now we're just waiting to see when they're going to say go ahead. So now one of the other projects I've already gotten the go ahead for, I've already done the pencil work on for a Naughty and Nice version of the cover, and that the art has already been approved by the creator. It's already gone to the colorist, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to announce that one probably in the next month or so.
Awesome.
So, and that one will be a good one too. It's a really cool topic. So, a book that people follow.
yeah, it is. It's popular, Naughty and Nice.
Yeah.
That's a little, above the age scale there, guys.
Yeah. Well, there's a nice version though.
There's the nice version, and there's the not nice version.
Yeah.
Let's see here. This is the part of the show where I want you to pick whoever it is important to you, anybody in your family, a loved one, and I want you to say something to them.
Oh, dude, my that's easy, man. My 4 daughters. I've got 4 girls. I'm actually going to be a grandpa in March. My oldest daughter is expecting her first child with her boyfriend. But my daughters, they're all artists in their own right. 2 of my daughters can write. All of them can do art in general. They've been a big influence. They've been supported on everything I've done. They've gone to some of the shows with me. They've constantly given me encouraging words and things like that. So Shelby and Victoria, Olivia and Ashley, I love you guys to the end of the world and back. And then of course my girlfriend Tara, who has been insanely supportive. We've been together now for a few years, and same scenario with her is she's been supportive on everything. She understands the travel for the cons. She understands my insane work hours. I mean, because a lot of people don't know with the artists, we pull anywhere between 10 to 14 hours a day, 5-6 days a week, all the time. And, she's super supportive about a lot of times I can't do this or that. So, huge shout out to her because in this industry, doing art, you have to have, that's the hardest thing. You have to have that core support. If not, it makes this so insanely difficult.
Right.
So definitely my daughters and her. That huge.
And this is the next part of the show where you get to plug anything that you got going on right now,
cool.
Where people can go to buy it at, where they can find you, find your stuff.
Mine's easy. You can just search on YouTube and Instagram. That's the only 2 things I use other than my YouTube channel, Instagram, and Facebook. That's the only 3 avenues I actually mess with. You can find all of them using Latimer12, at Latimer12, so Latomier 12. As far as projects, I've got 2 I can't talk about, but I just finished up the Cult of Dracula #2, exclusive for Top End Gaming, Kevin Johnson. A huge thank you to him for that. I believe those sets are almost sold out for that 150 print run. It's like 150 each.
Right.
And for those that don't know, Cult of Dracula actually got opted for movie.
Really?
Yeah, so that one they're in all their talks and stuff for that being turned into some type of movie TV event. So that's huge because number one sold out insanely fast. I think they pre-sold of number one, which I did the exclusive cover for Top End. I think the number one regular cover pre-sold 10,000 copies, and then pre-sold 15,000 second prints.
Wow.
And then the variants sold out also. So, yeah, that book is stupid hot.
Right.
But I'm working on those. You can definitely find me on that. I'll be opening my commission list for mail-away commissions in the next couple weeks or so. I only do commissions 4 times a year. I open them up every quarter, but I'm running a little behind now because of all the cover projects. The other project is Nightwolf. I'm doing an exclusive print for their Kickstarter, and their issue number 2, I believe I'll be doing a cover for that. And then I believe I'll be doing another cover for Chris Hayes and one of their books too. So,
all right.
So some stuff coming.
That's awesome, brother.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited.
You might be the.
Oh, I'll definitely do one for you guys if you want one.
Oh yeah, that's it. We gonna get some of this William Russell cat. You might be the angry artist, but you are a cool dude.
I appreciate it, man.
And I'm super glad that we come over there and hung out with you and talked to you and built this little relationship up. Now you got to do me a favor.
Yep.
Give me your best death metal scream, and it better be a good one because everybody else is letting me down.
My throat is almost shot.
Good thing the con's over. What?
There you go.
Hey, Cave Dwellers, that was the one right there. Thanks, William Russell, brother, coming out and hanging out with us, man.
No problem, man.
It was good, brother.
For having me. And like I said, I'll make sure to share you guys' info on mine. I always want to try to spread the love around. Again, huge shout out to you guys for talking to artists and stuff. I wish more people would do it. So that's awesome. So
anywhere there's going to be some cool stuff, you can find Gabe's.
There you go.
Brother.
That works.
Thanks, man. Thanks
Have
for
a good
coming
night,
out.
guys.